Hello there, welcome to another battle report, this time with my JSA again, against the NCA, the Neo-Capitalised Army. Hopefully I've got that one right. This time we're playing Frontlines. It's the last scenario for the Remote Access League Season 4. It's been great to play. It was a great opponent, a good match. Before I start, make sure that you like the video. If you look down the video again, you'll see the like. Okay, the like isn't there. I'm sure it'll turn up. Anyway, remember to like the video, subscribe and all that. I'll see you later. Cheers. Okay, so the scenario is Frontlines. This scenario is all about putting people in zones at the end of the game. You get 2 points for controlling the zone nearest to you, 3 points for the zone in the middle, and 4 points for the side furthest away from you. At the same time, you have a classified card you can either use to claim the 1 point from that. Alternatively, you can effectively cash the card in to get its points value to add to the value of one of your zones. So those cards are numbered between 0 and 20, and so you can add those points to a zone after the points are worked out at the end. Of course, the number of your card is unknown. Okay, let's start deployment. I'm trying it with video today rather than with stills. Hopefully you prefer this. Over on his left hand side, my opponent has a Bulleteer who is Spitfire. He is in a link team with a Bolt with multi-rifle and a Bolt Hacker. He has over here a Peacemaker with a heavy shotgun with an Orc Spot and Flamethrower. He has an Auxiliary here holding the backfield. He has a second Auxiliary, there he is, hiding away there. He has one Fugazi and 2 Fugazi there. Over here, he's got his Scary Link team. He's got his Aquila Guard there with a multi-marksman rifle, along with a Fusilier missile launcher, Fusilier combi rifle there as well, and a Hacker. And finally, he has a Peacemaker Spitfire here. So lots of scary guns, as you might expect from NCA, and my opponent is going first. Over here is my side. So over here we have a Harris Link team. We've got Yuriko in the Harris Link team, along with a Karakuri with a Mark 12 and a Domaru with a chain rifle. So I've got 3 different models there with different range bands. Yuriko's got a Panzerfaust if she needs to take out something large and chunky. Domaru there for close up with chain rifle and his EM grenades, and of course the Karakuri for longer range fire. I've got here a little Yaokang remote with a flash pulse. Here's my core link team. My lieutenant's there hiding on the roof. She's prone. I've got here a missile launcher Kaizatsu along with a paramedic and another paramedic here and a hacker. Hidden by my camera token is my Ryokin heavy rocket launcher, always helpful. Revealed there, there he is. Facing the wrong way. Turn around, boy, turn around. There we are. And a mine there. Here, this weird sort of red cylinder is in fact a Rushi. There it is, waiting there with a Spitfire. Over here I've got Yojimbo. I didn't deploy any of his crazy koalas, wanting to save them for the match. And I've got here a Pangalung Eva Hacker. You may notice I forgot to deploy Yuriko's mine. That was a mistake on my part. And finally, hidden deployment. I have got somewhere here. Oh, pesky thing. This is good professional, isn't it? Here I've got, there we are. Here I've got 2 hidden models today. So, hidden away, I have my Ninja Killer Hacker who is hiding on this rooftop. And I've got my Onibawan with a submachine gun who is hiding by the bins there. My aim is to have the Onibawan hide until they absolutely can't avoid being discovered anymore, either because of a great opportunity or last turn run forward to score points. Killer Hacker there because he's got some emotes nearby with repeaters, and so I think he might have someone midfield with hacking eventually, and so they're there to either get points or to sit there and maybe kind of be in the way of someone. But with their sort of bow, they're not great at shooting things. They're mainly there for the hacking device and of course to try and score a zone. So there we are. That's the deployment. Let's start with the first turn. First of all, NCA turn 1. First of all, his Harris link team with his bolts and his bulleteer ran forward. After that, unfortunately, due to poor positioning on my half, his bolt with his multi-sniper rifle was able to get a shot off at my Rushi, which destroyed it before I got any chance to use it. His link team then moved further forward round to be in view of my core link team. Now, his bulleteer moved forward and was going to take some shots at my link team. I had my Kaizotsu shoot with a rifle, but I had my Raiken further back actually take a shot at his bolts. This would be an unopposed roll because he wasn't shooting with them. It was risky. I was relying upon my Raiken's Millimeters -6 to work, knowing that if I didn't break that link team fast, they were going to roll up my entire flank. So I took a rocket shot at his bolts. Fortunately, I was lucky in that. His Spitfire missed my Raiken, knocked out, one of my Kaizotsu, and my rocket was able to take out one of his bolts, which fortunately broke away that important +1 burst bonus. Then his core link team with his Aquila Guard moved forward. My remote with a flash pulse spotted and was able to do a flash pulse to negate his first shot, which was super happy for me and allowed me to survive another day. A second shot happened and he was able to knock out my remote but not destroy it. Time for JSA turn 1. Yojimbo threw a smoke grenade forward. He was ARO'd and he got targeted put on him by the hacker. That was fine for now. The smoke there helping to conceal further shenanigans and meant his bulleteer couldn't see through it. He then threw a koala onto the rooftop, shown there by that red cylinder. Then my Harris team, first of all Yuriko ran up to the building and repaired my remote and then down again. My link team then moved around and my Karakuri was able to see his bolt with the rifle. My Karakuri was able to win the roll off and I managed to take out his second and last bolt. My Harris link team then hit themselves away, very concerned there about his core link team next turn coming around and tearing them to pieces. My medic then decided to help out with some helpful bullets. Unfortunately, they were real bullets and I managed to kill one of my core link team. Finally, my Raiken, fearing the medic, hit himself and recamouflaged. NCA turn 2. First of all, his Peacemaker with the Spitfire moved forward and it was able to spot my Ryoken. Shots were fired, shots were returned, and the blast from my rocket launcher was able to destroy his Orc bot but not penetrate the armour of his main remote. It then moved forward, spotting again my Ryoken. Shots were fired again. This time it was able to take my Ryoken out. A koala then leapt from the sky and was able to destroy his bot. Then a hidden deployment marker appeared, walked forward, went up a building, and revealed itself eventually to be a killer hacker. It used the remote there to send a hacking program to my Eva bot. It used Trinity and managed to fry my bot. And that was turn 2. JSA turn 2. Yojimbo, once again, able to lay smoke down, drove around and was able to show the fact that whilst the bot was learning the ways of the Spitfire, he had learned the ways of the Blade and was able to take out his bot with his katana. My ninja then revealed themselves on the rooftop there. My aim was to try and discover his Hexus, who was on the rooftop, who recamouflaged last turn. Unfortunately, they failed their role. Yojimbo then moved forward and threw a koala at the base of that building, knowing that if the Hexus ever revealed themselves, the koala would leap towards them with his loving embrace and explode. He then moved around the side to try and score points in my opponent's zone. My Harris Link team, knowing that my opponent was about to have turn 3 and his last attempt at moving forward and scoring points, really wanted to make sure they were invisible, so they kind of hid away, waiting for the third turn push. NCA turn 3. At this point, neither force had lost a lot of models. It was mainly about now scoring points in zones and trying to minimise losses at the same time. His Orc bot, along with his Auxilia, moved up in view of Yojimbo. He threw a smoke grenade and was able, through tactical skill, to get a crit, which meant that his auxiliary couldn't shoot him anymore. His core link team moved forward. His Aquila guard took a shot at my remote. Now, again, I was certain that whatever happened here, I was going to lose this roll-off. So instead, I fired a flash pulse at his missile launcher. I was pretty scared about his missile launcher going forward and taking out my entire Harris Link team. So I knew this meant my remote was going to die, but as far as I could see, it was going to die anyway. So I fired my flash pulse at his rocket launcher and was able to blind him at the same time his Aquila launcher was able to kill my remote. His team moved forwards, and then his Aquila was able to get a line on to my Domaru, and he shredded him with BS of 21, I think it was. They then hit behind the building, out of sight of my Harris team, and that was his last turn for turn 3. JSA turn 3. Suddenly, out of sight, appearing from nowhere, was my Onabawan. They ran forward into his scoring zone. At this point here, he had a hacker on the other side of this building, so I was pretty sure that I'll get locked down by any sort of immobilization actions. I wanted to give it a try though, because if he failed his hacking rolls, in theory my character could go around and maybe kill some of his link team and reduce the chances of him scoring in that zone. Unfortunately, she moved, she was immobilized, and that was that. When we worked out the points, it turned out the JSA controlled the zone nearest to me, giving me 2 points. The NCA controlled the middle zone, giving my opponent 3 points. And because of my Onabawan, I controlled the back zone, giving me 4 points. So the end score was a JSA victory, 6-3 to me. A great game, felt pretty close to me. I was forever scared of the NCA shooting my face off. My opponent was lovely. I had a great game, and it was a very interesting matchup in terms of me playing as a faction I've played against before. I've learned a lot, and I've learned to fear the Aquila Guard, which I guess is pretty obvious anyway, but it's worth saying more than once. So that's the end of the game. It was a great game against my opponent. I want to go through a few of my mistakes. First of all, of course, here's my deployment. I have here my Rushi. I was so scared about the Rushi being spotted over here by that Fusilier missile launcher, having it prone, I didn't think about over here. So all his bolt first turn did was walk up here, and then they could ping my Rushi really helpfully. A real shame, because the Rushi I thought had a great chance of doing some damage there, especially seeing on the side of the board he had no MSV2, so I could deploy smoke with the Jumbo and shoot through it. My Chai Yakong here did very well with its flash pulse, really helped sort of disable him by some good rolls. Pretty lucky on my part, but there we go. I think, looking at this calling team, I'm not very happy with it. First of all, it got taken out pretty early on, but a missile launcher is obviously quite good in ARO duty, but it's only attached to a Kaizatsu, who is a pretty poor shot, and as soon as you lose one person from that link team, he loses that +3 BS, which I think is really important for him, because with BS of 10, losing that +3 is a huge deal. So I think I'm going to have to revise this core link team and change it a little bit to be more versatile, either in terms of having better models in it, so if they lose one model, the -3 BS isn't a problem. Maybe having a Kempertai in there instead. Alternatively, readjusting it, because this core link team didn't do that well. Likewise, the hacker here, it can be handy having a hacker, but JSA to me, at least the way I play them, aren't very hacker heavy, and the remotes I'm using are flash pulses really, or for Spitfires, and therefore the chances of me getting any hack off is quite low. So there's some mistakes I made with the list build and with how I played the game. And now let's sum it up and go to the end. Oh, hi, still here? I've finished now, so I guess we'll just kind of sit here and wait for the video to end, I guess. So yeah, so still here, cool. That's not at all weird. I'll go and I'll see you later. All right. Cheers.